this is Jerry with another dinner we're going to make tonight. This one is Cornish game hens, and we're going to cook that in a wine sauce with some onions, mushrooms, and tomatoes. And on the side we're going to serve with that some Yukon Gold potatoes that actually you might think are poached, because we're going to simmer those on the stove in chicken broth. So let's go ahead and get started now. Alright, we've got 2 Cornish game hens that we've already gone ahead and cut them in half. And we're just going to add some seasoning, light seasoning on top of these. And then we're going to go ahead and place them inside the pan. And then we're going to roast them actually in the oven at 400 degrees for about 40 minutes or so. And while we're doing that, we'll be making the special sauce that I had mentioned to you. So there's some seasoning. We'll add just a little bit of some ground pepper to these. And then we'll go ahead and just place them right here in this baking dish, arranging them so that they fit very nicely. And one more half. Add just a pinch more of the seasoning where I missed it before. And we're all set. Now off to the oven. We're going to go ahead now and get the ingredients ready to put on top of the Cornish game hen. So what we're going to do is we've heated up a pan. We're going to go ahead and add some butter to that. We want to melt the butter in here, and that's melting down. What we're going to do is we're going to add the mushrooms that you see here, as well as the onions, to the mixture here. And then we're going to let that go ahead and cook for about 5 minutes or so. So we've got this butter, it's just about melted down. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some of these onions that I have. This is about a half of a medium onion that I've added to this mixture here. And as far as the mushrooms are concerned, this is about a half a pound of mushrooms that chopped up, or I should say sliced up instead. I'm just going to saute this sort of on a medium heat for about, like I said, for about 5 minutes. And let's go ahead and add in the tomatoes that we have. And we're going to add the wine as well. So we'll pour the wine in. And of course, as I always say, if you want to taste a little wine, which I'm sure you've already been doing prior to pouring it out, feel free to do that. And then what we're going to do is just leave this here. Again, it's off. Everything's off on the stove. And then we'll be pouring this on our Cornish game hens after those first 40 minutes are up. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and get started on making those Yukon potatoes that I mentioned. We're going to go ahead and add those here into our pan. Already got the heat going. We're going to add, probably going to be about 3 cups of chicken stock. We're actually going to cover them up about halfway. So we want them to simmer here really nice. And then we're going to go ahead and add the butter. We're going to cover these up and leave them there for about 5 minutes. Alright, our hens have been in for about 40 minutes now, and it looks like our mixture has cooled well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and pour this mixture right all over these hens, just like this. And then the hens are going to go back in the oven for about 20 minutes. And I've reduced the oven heat to 350 degrees. So this is going to look really, really good. Alright, now our potatoes have been on for a while. And we cooked these until they were a little bit tender. I said about 5 minutes. These are bigger, so they took a little longer. Then we took the lid off and let all of the chicken broth evaporate. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pop these, and we'll see how good I am at popping them. We don't want to mash them, so we're just going to give them a pop. Alright, just finished popping the last one. And so what we're going to do is put this back on the stove, and then we're going to go ahead and brown these. Get them ready to serve. Alright, Our hens look great. They've got the sauce on them. I'm going to go ahead and take them out of the mixture here and just put them on a little platter. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take the sauces that are here, all these juices, and make the, as you can see, it looks like a piece of that came off, which is fine. Nice and tender. Next we're going to go ahead and make the juices. Okay, let's go ahead and put it all together now. So go ahead and take one of these game hens on the plate. Lay it right in there. I'm going to grab a couple of these Yukon potatoes and lay in here. Don't those look great? And we've also done some of the broccoli. Just did that for a nice vegetable to have on the side here. So we'll add a little bit of the broccoli to it. And then I'm going to go ahead and add this sauce. Now what I did, if you remember, is I took all of the sauce that we had in the pan, and then I went ahead and I put it in this saute pan here and added some sour cream as well as a little bit of flour, and then put it over the stove to thicken that up so it looks really nice. Put a little bit on the potatoes, not too much. That looks great. Let's go ahead and put a little parsley on here. It's all chopped up. Kind of add a little decoration to the plate. And there you have it. You have the Cornish game hen, the Yukon potatoes, a little broccoli on the side. Alright, here we are. Everything's all plated up. Of course, had a little bit of wine. Had some of this waiting for me, so have your pleasure. This is Gerry with another dinner. Remember, if I can do this, you can do it too.